Hello everyone, I'm back today with Terri for her to share with us her challenges and difficulties to work with people who don't have English as a native language. And we can take as example the company where we worked together. We had many different people from many different places. And Terri, can you tell me how this experience was to you and how did it improve your communication skills?
Yeah, so that company was a very good company to work for in many ways. I loved working there because it was so broadening. It really broadened my horizons, meeting so many different people and getting to know different cultures. But also it taught me quite a lot about communication. Simply choosing different words or different vocabulary or simplifying your language or shortening your sentences. What I mean is considering how we speak. So it made me think a lot about how I communicate. It made me look at how I communicate and how I say things, and it did make me realise that I have to change the way I say things. We need to be sure that we understand each other. As a global community in business are having to learn to understand people more. There are many different nationalities working in the same office, especially in London because it's a very multinational city. You will work with somebody who does not have English as their mother tongue. So you have to get used to different accents and things like that. So I think we're learning to adapt actually, and I think we're learning to maybe change not change our language because obviously we speak English in an English company in London, but maybe to change at least our vocabulary. I think it's necessary and I think it's happening. I think people are making allowances for the fact that they work in a multinational company or a multinational city, and that you have to consider that the person you're speaking with are not speaking their first language, and you need to adjust your vocabulary so that they can understand you.
And I can see with my work experience, with my work colleagues, that they say things in a different way, especially when I say, please, can you say this again? So indeed they get the message that I want to say, I didn't understand the way you said. Can you say the same thing in a different way? Terri, when you left the company where we worked together, you went to a French company. In this case, you were the English person in a French company in London. So you were not a French speaker. How this experience was to you?
Yeah, as you said, Elizabeth, after I left the company where we worked together, I went to work for a French company. So I worked for a French bank, and I was in an office in London, and it was probably half and half English, half French. And there was a lot of French speaking going on around me because there were so many French people there. And I'm not a French speaker, but I was very fortunate that the people that I worked with spoke English. So they made my life very easy. So I tried, I made a bit of effort and used Google Translate to just learn some small talk in French so that I could at least say, hello, how are you, how was your weekend in French. They appreciated the effort, but it was quite small in comparison with what they were doing, speaking two languages. After that company, I moved to the company where I am now, which is a Swiss company. Again, they speak English. How very lucky I am. The hardest thing I have is because the servers are in Switzerland, a lot of our internet pages and platforms come up in German. So, it's not really a big deal, but things come up in a foreign language, and for a minute I think, oh, I don't understand that. What does that mean?
I feel your pain, my friend. I know the feeling. But tell me, do you have any specific situation to share with us where the accent was a problem for you?
Yes, so I felt your pain this week, Elizabeth. I had, I think, just a little taste of what it must feel like to be you on an average working day. I had a Skype meeting, which was more of a presentation, where somebody from our head office was teaching a few of us how to use a new platform devised specifically for our contract filing. So it was a little bit technical. So number one, that made it difficult. Number two, it was on Skype and the connection was bad and it kept breaking up. So that was hard to understand. And number three, the presenter was Swiss, so he was speaking English but with quite a heavy accent, which made it a little bit, so the content of what he was saying was hard to follow, his accent was hard to follow, and Skype kept cracking up. And then I thought, no, you need to tune in more. In the end I couldn't concentrate, so I had to plug my earphones in so I could really concentrate with the earphones plugged in and listen. Some things that he said just passed me by. I just don't know what he said. But yeah, some things I managed to pick up later on in the presentation just by figuring it out. Then I'd have a moment of, that must be what he was talking about earlier. But some other things, just no idea. So yes, I felt your pain with that. That was difficult.
Oh, it was a very nice thing to say, my friend. It was a kind of comfort because in the beginning I also thought the problem was with me when I couldn't understand someone. And okay, you said two important things. One is when the calls are via Skype, okay? Especially when it starts to break up. And the other thing is when the subject is technical, especially when you don't understand very well the industry. I shared with you in one of my previous videos how it was difficult for me to get used to English and also a new work industry, what was healthcare, the names of the diseases and everything else, the requirements of the customers to build the websites, the app, the courses. It was really a hard challenge for me. But this time has gone. My English is much better now. I still have a long way to go, but I am on my way and we are almost in the end of this video. But before that, I would like Terri, do you have any advice to tell to my viewers, especially the ones that are not English speaker?
What I would say to your viewers who are in a position of where they're thinking to come over to the UK or any other country for that matter, where that language is not their native language, just ask for help. I think most people are pretty nice and most people want to help, but they don't always realise that you need help, so you quite often do need to point it out and ask for help. And if you just say, look, I'm struggling to learn this new job and process the different language and everybody's different accents and vocal nuances that they have, so just don't be afraid to ask, because I think it's not that people don't want to help, but they're just so busy going about their day, thinking about their own things, so they're just not thinking. It's not that they don't care, they're just not thinking about it. So speak up, ask for help, don't be afraid to ask questions, don't feel embarrassed, because I think most people will admire you and really respect the fact that you are speaking a second language and conducting business and your professional life in a language that is not your native tongue. That can't be easy. I don't know because I've never done it. I can only imagine that it's difficult. In the last 6 years, I've had 3 jobs and I've worked with a lot of people from all over the world and many bilingual and multilingual people, and what that's taught me is that I really need to learn a second language. As you know, I'm learning Portuguese very slowly, but I would really love to learn a second language.
Okay, my friend, I feel happy you like to speak Portuguese. You think the language is beautiful, right? Also, I would like to say what you said, that here the most of people are nice when you ask for help, and it's really true. I never had any problem, even in my first job, also in my second job. People are very patient with me, all my work colleagues, and until now, of course, as I said, I still have a long way to go to speak English the way I would like to one day. But as I said, my colleagues are really very patient. And that's it. I hope you have enjoyed. And it was a little bit longer than the videos that I do usually. But as I said, I think the content was really rich. I hope you have enjoyed and see you next time. Bye.